What's up, T Squad? It's me, Keisha, aka Color Me Pynk, and I'm here with this week's All Tea, All Shade, and just like that, season 2, episode 8 review. So the episode begins with Carrie and Aiden. They are in a hotel room. They've been held up there for days, just eating and making love, honey. And that sounds like a time to me. Woo, that sounds like a time to me. They were having a good old time, honey. And as Aidan is calling to order breakfast to the room, they're discussing his farmhouse that he has back in Virginia. It's a red brick farmhouse. And he's telling Carrie about the chickens and how the chickens be bringing, did he say eggs or something in the house? The chickens be doing something, coming up in the house and walking up the steps. And so Carrie was like, I would actually love to see that. And that is such a big departure from Carrie however many years ago, that when he wanted her to go to his farmhouse upstate, she was not amused, did not want to go. It was not her cup of tea at all. But she ended up being able to tolerate it because she loved him. So to see her all these years later, older, wiser, she's actually excited about seeing that part of his life. And he says that he wants her to meet his boys, which is another big step, introducing her to his children and things of that nature. Like, where is this going? Like, what is about to happen with you two? Because y'all are moving quite fast. Even though y'all have dealt with each other in the past, the stakes to me are even higher this time around because you're a widow that's still grieving. He's divorced, has 3 children, don't know if they're going to accept you or like you. Your career, his career, like, I don't know. I think that there is still a lot at stake even right now today for those two. So Carrie goes to lunch with Miranda, Charlotte, and Seema and is telling them about the farmhouse and how she was Googling farmhouses so she could see how it looks, and they all look so beautiful, and like she's so amped, and she's just going on and on and on about Aidan and just gushing because she is happy. She getting that good pipe, honey. And this is the old Carrie. This is the Carrie that I've been waiting for. The giddy, happy, funny Carrie. This is the Carrie that I have been waiting to see. So Seema is looking at the houses while she's talking, and like you can tell she's uncomfortable. And Carrie's not picking up on the fact that she like feels some type of way. So Carrie's already making plans about going back and forth to see him and vice versa and everything. And she invites the ladies to have dinner with them, and Seema doesn't say anything. Like, she just kept it mute. And at first I was thinking her character was feeling some type of way because maybe she thought that she was going to lose a friend because, they were both out here single and dating, and now you about to be wifed up and I'm going to be just out here single by myself. That's what I was thinking at first. So then we see Miranda and Carrie taking a walk after lunch, and Miranda, mentions how she begged her way back into an internship that she turned down a year before, and how, she's excited but afraid to get back in the workforce. And the topic of Aidan comes up, and Miranda asks Carrie, like, don't you think you need to like slow it down a little bit? Like, your husband just died. Like, what's going on, sis? And this was the Miranda that we know, the Miranda that's always going to bring you back into reality and make you look at the facts, whether you want to hear it or not. This is the Miranda that we know, the busybody, all up in your business, know what's right for you, Miranda. And so Carrie reminds her, like, we've done that, been here, done that. This is not the past. I'm very much right now in the present. And she's talking about how she's been having the best orgasms of her life, even better than the orgasm she had with Aidan in the past. Like, she says that she has been wondering, like, did she used to hold herself back and not give herself fully to him back then because she was reserving that space for big. And then she goes on to say, like, I want to say something, but I ain't gonna say it. And Miranda was like, what is it? She was like, I was wondering, was big a big mistake? And I was like, oh, y'all going there? This is what we doing now? Were we questioning whether or not she should have been with Big? I don't like that, Bernie. Don't do Big. Don't do Big. Because John Preston was everything, okay? I liked Aidan, loved Aidan, but Aidan could never. And yeah, he took Carrie through a lot. He really honestly did. But once he got it together, he treated her like gold. So we're not going to do that, Carrie. We are not about to play that game. I don't think that Big was a big mistake. I think that Aidan was a safer choice. He was already at that stage in his life where he wanted a wife, a children, a house, and all of those things. But she didn't want that from him at the time. She wanted that from Big, minus the children. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that Big was a big mistake. I just think that at that time in her life, he was the one for her for that time in her life. Where she's at right now, I think she as a woman has grown to a place where she can be that for Aidan and vice versa. And so Miranda didn't even know what to say, child, because she was so befuddled. So Charlotte sits down the whole family and tells her daughters that she's going back to work thinking they're going to fall apart. They was like, okay, girl, bye. So Miranda starts her internship and meets the other interns, and they tell her that, they probably gonna start you off on grunt work. Like, they really don't let us get the, more important things. And lo and behold, their manager ends up calling Miranda to handle something very important on her first day. And so they looking at her like, oh, so you getting special treatment around here because you old? Because you'd have been there, done that? Okay, so immediately they are not feeling Miranda at all. Carrie then asks Che, can she and Aidan rent her apartment, because she's Airbnb-ing it when he's in town. And when he's in town and they're at her place, Che can just go over to Carrie's. And so Che was like, bet. And I just think that's a bit ridiculous, though, because that brings me back to the old Aidan, where he had always stipulations on how he could be with Carrie. He couldn't be with Carrie if she smoked. He couldn't be with Carrie if she did this. He couldn't be with Carrie if she did that. He couldn't be with Carrie if she was still going to be friends with Big. Like, it was always, everything had to be on his terms. And the fact that we this old and you talking something, you could never go back in my apartment again because of everything that happened 20 some years ago. Like, boy, sit down. Get over it. It ain't that deep. You act like it was a murder happened up in there. Boy, sit down. So Giuseppe shows Anthony how to knead some dough because he's just doing it way too rough, and mentions the fact that he himself is gay. And Anthony thought that he was straight. So Anthony was like, you fired. You got to go. He was like, why? He was like, because you got to go. I don't like the way you working. But he's doing all that because he's attracted to him and he could see himself falling for him. So he was like, I got to get him away from me. Charlotte takes my girl Lisa with her shopping to find her work outfit, and like the store shopper, the customer service girl, like kind of like had stank attitude a little bit. And so Charlotte finds the perfect Charlotte dress. It was given very Liberian chic, and she tries it on. It looks phenomenal on her, but the dress has a belt on it, and the belt really shows that she has like a pudge in the bottom of her stomach that she's herself not very comfortable with. And Lisa was like, it looks great. Like, just take the belt off. And she was like, no, because the belt makes the outfit. And so the girl ends up coming over with some other all black dresses, but they were way bigger, like flowy dresses that would really hide any imperfections. And Charlotte was like, girl, don't play with me. I'm going to get this weight up off me. Take that back. I'm going to buy this. And I was like, girl, that little bit of stomach, but I understand it because even when I was skinnier, I would think like that. You know what I'm saying? So, where was I at? Oh, so I'm sorry, let me go back. Carrie and Aiden go kitchen shopping for Che's house because Che ain't got nothing because she a broke hoe. And they are having the best time ever. Like, they're on the same wavelength. And Carrie is just the happiest that we have seen her in these last 2 seasons. Like, this is our Carrie Bradshaw that we saw in this week's episode. And I was so happy to see the bubbly, happy Carrie. Then we see Seema at her job, and her business partner asks her to find a rental for a Marvel film actor who is intolerable. He's always on his phone. He's not listening. And she don't want to do it at first. But when she see old boy, he fine, he's sexy, he's single. So she like, okay, I'll make that happen. So they going to be bumping uglies in 2.2 seconds. Then over there at Miranda's job, the interns are talking ish about her while she's sitting at the lunch table with them eating lunch. They texting back and forth talking shit about her. And when she calls them out on it, they was like, no, we were just talking about something else. And Miranda peep game, she ain't stupid. Now the girls are sitting up there calling her privileged and all that stuff. And I don't think that it's privilege, it's just more work experience. So, yeah. Do y'all think that it was fair that Miranda got more opportunities than the girls that had already been there? Or do you think it was a situation where if the girls would have worked harder, they would have gotten further, quicker? So Charlotte still can't fit into this dress, child, the way she wants to, and keeps comparing herself to a younger photo of herself. And it's like, girl, you ain't her no more. This is you now. You had 2 kids. You're a little older. Like, deal with it. So Che's building manager ends up calling her about her cousins that are staying in her place. So she go over to the house, Carrie and Aiden, and over there cooking chili and have bought all these new appliances and things for her kitchen. And she's sitting back drinking a beer and just watching them vibe and how they just have so much chemistry. And you can see that there is love there. And so she begs the question to them, asking why didn't it work the first time between them? And they both get just quiet, dead silence. And Carrie says, because I made a mistake. Or did she say because I made a big mistake? No, I think she said because I made a mistake. And I think that's when, I think she said because I made a mistake. She didn't say a big mistake. She said I made a mistake. And so that mistake that she was talking about, of course, is when she cheated on him with Big. I think that the writers would have had her say I made a big mistake by basically in alluding to the fact that, or insinuating that Big and her were a mistake and she should have stayed with him. But with her just saying I made a mistake, that was going back to when she cheated on him, and that's what really tore up their relationship. And he just grabs her and hugs her, and Che just sitting back looking like, damn, like this is love right here. Like I'm seeing genuine, true love between these two people. And I do like them being back together. I do like Aidan and Carrie. I just like it. Now, I don't know how far it can go, but I like it. So, Seema and Carrie are both at the hair salon at the same time. Carrie doesn't know she's there though, but they sitting literally next to each other in the bowls. And when Seema realizes it's Carrie, she try to run to her beautician's chair without her seeing her because it's a big salon. But Carrie ends up spotting her, was like, girl, I know you ain't about to walk past me and not say nothing. And she was like, oh, girl, I got to go, get my blowout, da-da-da-da. And she was like, Seema, like, what's up? What's the tea, girl? Because I've been texting you. You ain't been responding back about dinner with me and Aidan and this, that, and the third. And she was like, okay, so if we're going to have this conversation, let's go outside. So she like, girl, our hair wet. We going to catch pneumonia. What is happening? So she take her outside and she was just like, look, you already on some wee stuff when it come to old boy. And I think that you've forgotten about the fact that we were supposed to get a place in the Hamptons this summer together. And even I had forgot about it. So I know Carrie over there getting digged down and she forgot about it. And Carrie was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I forgot. But he won't be a problem. Like, he'll only be there when he comes in town. It won't be all the time. And she was like, but when he is there, I don't want to feel like I'm a third wheel. And I don't want to be reminded about the fact that I don't have a person. I've never been in love. I've never had a serious relationship. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be around that. And I can get that. That's how she feels. And this was supposed to be a me and you thing, not a me, you, and your new man thing. You know what I'm saying? And so Carrie was like, she says to Carrie, I just need some space. And Carrie was like, nope, I'm not giving you no space because space in friendships equals it just fizzling out. I'm not doing that. I'm not giving you no space. And she was like, just let me have some space. I promise we'll be fine. And so Carrie has to do nothing but respect that in that moment. But I can understand from Carrie's point of view of her feeling anxious, thinking like, I'm about to lose another friend like I lost Samantha. You know what I'm saying? And she doesn't want to do that again because she really has grown to love and care about Seema, and Seema has become a part of her life. And I'll be glad when Seema get her man child, because girl, okay. So Charlotte puts on 2 pairs of Spanx on her first day, child, and can barely breathe, about to pass out. But the outfit was everything, especially with that black and white coat. So she gets to the art gallery. Of course, there's younger art gallery girls there. And their like manager or whatever comes down, and it's a plus size woman with a crop top on, and she just got her stomach hanging out, and she confident as ever. And so Charlotte was like, you know, can I go to the restroom? So she goes to the restroom, and we see her taking off both pairs of Spanx and throwing them away. And she takes the belt off, and she feels more confident in herself, because it was like, I'm sitting up here worried about this little pudge in my stomach, and you see this gorgeous, you know, plus size girl who's way bigger than me, that has more confidence than I do, and probably faces more discrimination and people talking about her. And I'm sitting up here worried about this little pudge. Like, let me get myself and my life in order. I hated that she had to see a fat girl though with her stomach out for her to be like, oh, I can show my stomach too and be confident, even though she had about this much of stomach. I hate that she had to see a bigger girl have more. I don't know. No. So Giuseppe ended up coming back to Anthony and asks why he fired him. And Anthony finally tells him why, because, you know, I didn't caught feelings, and I know I'm going to end up messing around with you. You too young for me. And Giuseppe ain't trying to hear none of that. I actually can see them building to be something and actually being in a relationship. Miranda boss ends up offering her job temporarily while she's on maternity leave. And at first, Miranda don't want to take it because she feels like she's stepping on the other intern's toes. And the girl was like, you wasn't caring about stepping on people's toes when you were straight out of law school, you know, trying to get a law job and this, that, and the third, and you're more qualified. So get over your life. Like, girl, take this job and forget about them heifers. And so she was like, I bet I accept them. And then we see the girls out at dinner with Aidan. Everybody's laughing and talking and having a good time. And Seema ends up arriving. She ends up arriving, and Carrie is just so happy to see her. And she was like, see, I told you, I just needed time. And thank you for giving me my space. Like, we're all good. And everybody just had a great time. And then at the end of the episode, Carrie says in her narration that she went to Aidan's farmhouse and it was better than she ever dreamed it could be. And she loved it. And I really loved this episode. Really, honestly did. Like, these last few episodes I've really been vibing with. This episode to me had the most reminiscence and essence of Sex in the City. You had all of these different plot lines going on with every character where they had an issue and a problem. It was recognized and was, you know, there was an end result wrapped up in the end. I like that we saw all the girls going through their own individual things that were relatable, you know, to the everyday woman, no matter what age you were. And I feel like this was the most Carrie that we have gotten from her character since And Just Like That has been on. I just want her to dress younger, more vibrant, and more sexier, because these outfits just ain't gonna bother me. But other than that, I give the episode an A. I really loved it. I really, truly enjoyed it. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about the episode down below in the comment section. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button, you guys. I love you immensely, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.